What's up? Welcome. You have entered the game zone. I'm DweeBro. This is my DweeBros. Jacob and Travis. And I am DweeBro.
Do you want us to intervene at any point?
Oh my god.
I kind of thought...
What's up? I faked you guys out. You thought I was a robot.
No, I kind of thought you taking a struggle like a crap. Like you were trying to take a crap. And it was
Yeah.
welcome.
Like I'm pouring it for the whole podcast.
Welcome
Nice
to
to-
the show. We do
See
it
ya.
once a month. Clearly we were prepared
Yeah.
for the intro. All month, and that was...
We were like...
That's what I had bubbling over. We are the DweeBros. We talk about video games, video game news, video game hotties, video game naughties, video game
waifus,
video-
multiplayer, single player,
player,
co-op player,
strategy,
shoot 'em ups, jump games.
I'm out. Okay, fingers.
anything and everything about
Video
gaming.
games.
You've tuned.
You made it.
You've tuned in to the right YouTube frequency. You ever you're on the radio in the car, and you find the right song, and it's just
You
a little
telling
bit
me
off.
that we're getting on the radio?
No, I'm saying
Welcome to radio.
I'm saying sometimes I'm look what you made me do turns on from
Oh,
Taylor
my
Swift.
I
But
know.
I'm just out of frequency. You know what I do? I kick it down 100 miles per hour
Yeah.
until you get to the right area
Yeah.
where the cell tower can reach.
Yeah.
So I'm just hitting trees and fire hydrants, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
and I go, look what you made me do, as I'm boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom,
Concrete walls.
See, but
Just
in
plow
my
through it.
honest opinion, it's 2017. If you're still using radio as your way of getting music...
Oh, there's another way.
I listen to the radio.
I mean, you listen to radio, but
Sometimes.
you listen to that for the talk purposes, probably.
Yeah. A little bit of both.
But see,
I'm
that's what
all
saying.
digital.
I'm talking that there's people who still use radio
You're
to...
not. And I might be 100% correct on
Okay.
this. Wi-Fi, you know what I learned what Wi-Fi is? It's
Radio?
radio waves.
Wow, so we're all analog, baby.
You know what else I learned? You know how we have internet and we connect to other countries? It's not all through satellites. There's wires that run across the ocean.
If you're watching us right now, you're analog, baby.
You might think you're all digital, but there's something analog going on.
Wow. You know what? I didn't even get the sheet. Keep talking.
Oh, so, I'm a big believer in trying to fix tech and make it better. But you've got to understand that if you're trying to have an all-digital solution,
Should I close that?
there's always going to be some kind of an analog thing in the background. And that's why I think that our first topic is very important.
Oh,
So let's get right
speaking
into
of
it.
analog,
Analog, what do we got?
Dweebo Twitter.
That did not go as
Oh, that segues perfectly.
Yeah.
Because...
planned. Twitter's going analog.
Because we used to have to write letters, and you tied it to a pigeon's foot.
And you
Now
fed a
you
pigeon.
tie it to an analog.
Yeah, now you tie it to
The radio waves.
yes,
Not going
The
well.
the dweeb.
Okay, so go
Dweebo.
to so the Twitter. I want to talk about the Twitter for
Okay.
just a second because
the site in
I've-
general or our participation.
our specific little plot
Yeah.
of land on the tweet.
Okay.
Land. Because I have been posting on there more specifically for the streams I've been doing. I've been doing the Tony Hawk streams, and there might be future streams that we want to do, and that is how you're going to find out the hottest news. Go to it's going to be on the screen right now in big bold letters, yeah, you just make the sign,
at
Dweebo YT. What does the YT stand for? That's for me to know, and you to find out. It's for YouTube. So that'll be kind of be like when the streams are going up, when's the time. So I just mentioned Sunday at 2, we're going to have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Cross your fingers. I've let down everybody. Every single time I made it.
You made it to 4 though. That's good.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm pretty impressed.
I'm at
But-
4. 4's the next one. So
You do this on YouTube and Twitch.
Oh yeah, and then Twitch, also on the screen, is DweeBros777.
There you go.
Don't miss it.
Pick your poison. So that is that. That'll just be for when stuff
That's
comes
good
out.
housekeeping.
Yeah.
That was good. That was very professional.
You know when the president's doing stuff and he needs to let people know what he's doing? What does he use? Twitter. If he never told you what was happening on Twitter, would you know what's happening? We're kind of like the president.
Yeah.
Does he ever do like the state of the address to the people, like
He talks to
the state
people
of
on
the nation?
Twitter.
He's like, hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this on Twitter this time, guys.
Maybe.
Hey,
So, if you want to know the state of DweeBros, gotta get on Twitter.
yeah, just get on Twitter.
But
So that's it for that.
This month, man.
This month has been a whirlwind of video
Yeah.
games. Too much, indeed, and I'm drowning.
yeah.
There's stuff on here I didn't even get to.
Oh yeah.
I mentioned Life is Strange. Didn't even
Yeah.
get to it.
No,
Bye.
I didn't have a chance.
So can't cut that. Cut. What about Metroid Samus Returns?
Yeah. Off with your head.
I got the special edition.
Yeah.
It's in a box. The box
Well, I
looks
mean,
cool.
I've
Oh, the
watched-
box! You can actually turn. It has a reversible cover, and when you reverse it, it's that old Game Boy Metroid. Because it's a remake.
that's cool.
It's a remake of Metroid Prime or Metroid
Yeah.
2 for Game Boy.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So you can turn that over. So,
Nintendo's been doing that a lot more lately with their
so gameplay-wise, I don't know how good it
covers.
is yet.
They're switching on that the reversible.
I didn't realize the original Samus 2, or not Samus 2, Metroid 2 was a Game Boy game.
Yeah,
I thought it was an NES game.
it is. I
So
played it
I'm
recently.
glad that they finally remade
I don't think
that.
there was a Metroid NES game, was there?
The very first one.
Yeah, the very first one was.
Oh, maybe that's where.
Why does Nintendo do this? Why do they make direct sequels in handheld? They've done that many times. They did that with Link's Awakening.
This isn't a sequel, it's a remake.
No, but the original when they made Metroid 2. Why did they take it from NES to Game Boy?
I don't know.
Well, probably 'cause when they made the Game Boy, they needed titles to put it out with. I don't know. I don't know when the Matt also understand when the Game Boy came out, it was the largest.
Wait a minute. I was asking why Nintendo did something. Why did I ask that?
That's been a long time coming. So
I
I'll
think-
have more stuff probably
I
talk
think they
about
knew
the
what they were
next
doing.
month if I can get to the freaking game. But it looks the reversible art, and I'm hearing good impressions. So, well, we're just moving right along. Cuphead impressions. Wow, this is a great podcast. I did buy it today. That'll be next month. Wow,
Now, that's the game that it was all going to be boss battles.
yes, and
then everybody
delayed
said,
it for 2
"Oh."
years. They delayed it
So
for-
then they added levels. I've
Yeah.
always wondered if you design a game from the ground up around the bosses, and then everyone says, "Make it a platformer,"
Yeah.
and then you say, "Okay,"
yeah.
and you didn't ever intend to make a platformer. What possibly,
Yeah.
inspiration
So I
could
was
they have
worried
had?
about that as it was nearing release. I was
Yeah.
like, should I pre-order this? I've been waiting for this game since 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And I did pre-order it, and from early impressions, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think we'll
that
be.
stuff. So I think we're okay.
That game.
That was
does
kind of
look-
spooky at first. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, finally I made a full game. But the more I thought about it, I was like, this wasn't made for that.
Yeah.
This originally wasn't.
That
made.
game does look phenomenal.
It
though.
looks incredible.
Like,
so
I can tell they put the time and the effort into it. Hopefully it's not like, I mean, ukulele wasn't terrible, but like ukulele in a sense.
Don't crap on Yuka.
Okay,
on the Yuka.
okay.
I hope it's not terrible like ukulele.
I just okay. Here's the thing. Just a segue into this real quick. I wanted to play it because the people. It's like a rare kind of
Yeah.
rare nostalgia trip, and it's like I love Rare, and I wish Rare was still around. But
Rare is around. They just don't make those games
I
anymore.
understand. It's just like,
They're making Connect games, dude.
oh my gosh.
Okay, so
CPs,
Cuphead will be next
Star
month.
Wars.
I'm really excited to get into that, but time is a cruel mistress.
What's
George
taking up all
Washington.
your time?
What have you been doing lately,
Freaking.
man?
Maybe we'll find out later.
Yeah.
At the end of the podcast, I'm gonna tell you where all my time went. Next up, SNES Mini. Now this is something I got my hands upon. Of all
my
the things,
pre-order didn't come through.
the hardest thing I got my hands
Mine got
on.
canceled.
But all the other stuff was the click away, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
What happened? So what happened was I did pick up my SNES Mini today. You know what was funny? I remember they would hold. I had it pre-ordered from GameStop. They would hold stuff usually for like 4 days. I felt like.
Yeah.
This person called me today and said, "Hey, we got your SNES Mini. You have until tomorrow at 1 p.m. to pick it up." And I was just like,
Whoa.
I'm going to get it today, but
Wow.
buzz off.
Yeah.
Hey,
give me a little bit.
High demand, man. If you don't pick it up,
they were ready to sell those.
the employer's going to take it. You know how it works.
Yeah.
GameStop employee. I'm sorry.
So it's still been a mess. It feels like I've been seeing more stock than the NES. Still hell on earth to get this thing, but I did waltz into GameStop, got it.
Fingers crossed for December.
Have you even opened it up or anything?
I opened it up.
Okay.
So I got time to open it up today, and I was surprised because I'm so used to, I have the original SNES, and every single picture I saw, it's like, here's the box, here's whatever. I didn't know how small it really was.
Yeah.
It's small. Like, the box is the size of, like, a little bit bigger than, like, a 3DS's box or whatever.
Wow.
It's
That's
not
small.
It's like this big. It's like
I got my hands on a mini NES and borrowed it from a buddy, and it was really small.
Yeah.
Really small.
It was surprising. Like, all the promo pictures, you feel like, oh, that's going to be a big box or whatever, a medium-sized box. But I did get time to open up, and SNES is my favorite Nintendo console, hands down. Like, that's the one I grew up with. That's the one I remember the most of. I liked NES, but SNES has a special place in my heart. So I had to pick this up, and it was really special getting the controllers out because they are 1-to-1.
Wow.
That original, like,
that's awesome.
There's nothing different on them, except like the connector, of course. But getting the console was really fun. The controllers are bigger than the console.
No way.
Basically, like, they're bigger size-wise. So I take out... It's so weird now, like, looking back as, like, a kid, how big the console was and the controllers. And, like, now the controllers are bigger than the console.
Wow.
But I had it in my hand, and it is, like... I was, like... I couldn't even find, like... It was just weird seeing how small it was. But what was cool, and I was just like, yes, this was totally worth it. This was the thing that sold me. The power thing is just like it was on the old model. You flick it up, it turns, and then the reset is that same spring.
How's the rewinding work?
Okay, so I'll get to that. So I did boot it up. It's the HDMI. Also, what was weird on the instruction things, it says, like, you're not supposed to leave it plugged in at all. Like, if you're not using it, take it from the wall socket. And I was just like, what is this thing?
Like it could catch fire?
Yeah, I don't know. Or it can burn up.
That's not good.
So, I don't know. That's weird.
That's really convenient.
So, but what was cool, it brought back, in the instruction thing, it brought back the old... When you used to get these old SNES games, some of the manuals, you would pull these out, and they would have these gigantic posters. Or some of them would be like promos for other games or other SNES stuff. So it has that on this new one. So it's like, here's Earthbound, here's whatever, and it has like a couple, like, even though you get all the games in it, you know, but they had that. And on the back is the instructions, whatever. So I booted it up, and first thing, I went through the first world on Donkey Kong Country. That is one of my favorite top 3 games of all time. But then I was like, how do you do the save states?
Yeah.
And I'm pressing both the shoulder buttons, and I'm looking. They're just the buttons that were on the original SNES.
Yeah.
There's no extra to, like, press a save state. And then I had to just Google it, because it's not on the instruction manual how to do it. I looked it over to make sure. I was like, it is not on the instruction manual. No. I look it up, and you have to, on that small console itself, hit the reset button. That takes you back to the home menu. And that's where your save state, it saves the state onto the home menu. You actually have to go all the way out.
Oh, I remember this because on the NES...
You had to go all out of the
when I was playing the NES, when I was playing Castlevania, I kept dying on a boss, and I had to sit right next to the box, and every time I died, I had to hit something to, like, go back to my save state.
Oh,
that's really bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, I had to go off control.
Like, I was sitting there with a controller, like, why couldn't they have set, like, a button on the top near the, like, the cords? Like, 2 buttons for, like, load state or save state. So, it's even funnier with the rewind thing.
Oh, no.
So that's how you do save states. Well, rewind is something I feel like should be immediate. A save state, I'm kind of used to how they have implemented it. On 3DS and stuff, you actually have to go down that menu. You have to hit, like, a thing, and it loads it back. Kind of obnoxious compared to, like, emulation. But rewind always, like, that has to be an immediate thing. Like, I'm watching the gameplay. You have to hit that reset button. It goes back to the main menu, and then you hit X, and then it does it from there. That's when you do the rewinding from there.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's terrible implementation. It's kind of a terrible way to implement that.
That's pretty disappointing.
Yes.
Maybe we just want to emulate the games.
Yeah. But man, to have like those 20 games, the packaging, the kind of the controllers being the same, I was having fun playing Donkey Kong today. And here's the other thing: it is using the same guts as the NES Classic. So day one, this thing is ready to be hacked. People have already hacked it, and you can put all the SNES games on it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so you're ready to go.
That's all that matters.
Because I think people did that with the NES. They were putting SNES ROMs on it.
Yeah, because there was someone selling. I saw on the internet for $160. Someone was selling an NES Classic, but with over 300 NES games on it.
Really?
And so I was like,
I'm mixed on that because I do want to hack it and have everything on there. I think that's cool to have all the games.
But
I almost feel like you're breaking the
spirit of why the machine
thing.
exists. One, two. You can do that on your Mac.
Yeah.
You know,
there's like no point.
It's kind of redundant.
Yeah.
It's more about owning it for...
I like having it as like a collector's item. I like booting up just those 20 games and just an easier way with the original controllers. It's fun.
It's more about owning it for the nostalgia.
Yes.
Having that box.
It definitely, like, opening it and seeing that controller stuff is like, I'm buying nostalgia. So, very cool.
I'm hopeful that...
Stock they've got to fix, though.
Oh, I think they'll...
You're hopeful for what?
I'm hopeful that they'll continue the trend and we'll see an N64
I feel like that'll come next year.
And I'm telling you right now, I'll throw grandmas out in the street for that. Like, hey,
grandmas, watch out.
Look,
Jacob's
like how he
N64.
said, like, he's got to have this. The N64 is my, that's my nostalgia trip.
Mine too. They're not going to find 30 games worth putting on it, though.
Yeah. They're going to be 10, 15 at most.
Oh, I mean, those games are... Donkey Kong Country. Bring it back. Like,
well, the problem with that is Rare owns...
Well, not Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong.
Well, Rare owns the Donkey Kong, or have a partial thing. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll hey, look, I'm telling you right now, if we could get, it's all Snake can get on Super Smash Brothers, we can get Donkey Kong back on an emulated N64.
That still blows my mind that they finally released Star Fox 2, and this is the method that they released.
Oh, yeah, so, funny thing with they had to do it Nintendo.
Yeah.
On the box it says, like, Star Fox 2 is here. You can play it for the first time. Just beat the first level of Star Fox 1. And that's not a big thing. That's not telling me to climb a mountain, but...
It's needless.
Freaking have that open when I get the thing. Like
20 years.
And you're making me do one more thing. Like...
That's Iwata.
I'm telling you, their core.
Okay, that's Iwata's final troll.
They will always do that. They always
find a way so close to doing it perfection, and they're like, I don't know. Is this Assassin's Creed on your monster?
It is Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed Origins, yeah.
This podcast is sponsored by Assassin's Creed Monster.
Yeah, I forgot.
You guys interested in new Assassin's Creed?
Nope.
0 to 100.
0.
Yeah.
I'm about 40%.
Okay.
I played 1, 2, 2.2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. So I mean, I played all those.
So you might get
I played 1, and I might be interested in another one in a couple of years from now.
Here's my thing.
I just think I've played this game before. Yeah. It doesn't look like it's adding anything new.
This new one's adding a ton. What do you mean?
Yeah,
well, it's like you can be an eagle and stuff.
No, it's like a full RPG and it's like Dark Souls style combat.
I don't know.
You picked the wrong one to say that about, at least. It adds a ton.
I still just feel like you go in the Animus, you come out of the Animus. Okay, we get it.
No, I don't even think it's really that. It's like The Witcher. It's like The Witcher in Egypt.
Hold on.
No, it really is. Just as far as like it being quests, and it's all RPG based.
We'll see.
Not saying I'm buying. I'm just saying it's pretty different.
I just think like for me, when it comes to Assassin's Creed, I played 2. I played Brotherhood. Those were like the best ones.
Yeah.
Everything else, like Black Flag.
We'll see. This might be the revival we need.
It's just,
I'm not really worried about it.
It's not on my like, oh my gosh list or anything.
Yeah.
So,
all right, next up, SWERY'S Good Life. Do you want to talk about Swery?
Swery.
I have no idea where this is going, to be honest.
So here's the thing. I love Deadly Premonition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Masterpiece.
Yes.
I love D4.
Yes.
Unfinished
masterpiece.
Unfinished. I have only seen a couple screenshots of this in group chat with you. And
so you haven't watched the trailer?
I don't know what this is.
Okay, then I can take over.
I don't even know what this is.
Okay,
and maybe explain to the audience, if they're not familiar with the wonderful Swery, what type of games he makes.
Swery, so he made Deadly Premonition, which was one of the more divisive games ever created. It got lots of zeros and lots of 100s. It is a crappy, like, very just
You ever get the Xbox demo disc in 2003, and there's just like that game where you're a dude in a suit and it's janky and you're shooting things and it just feels like dirt, but it's the only thing you have besides Halo 2, and like you've played 100 hours of Halo 2 and you're just playing to play this demo disc. It's like if someone took that gameplay and that HUD and that interface and made a 25-hour Detective Twin Peaks game with that gameplay. And it is amazing writing, atmosphere, comedy, tone.
Oh, it's one of the funniest games I've ever played.
With awful gameplay.
Yeah. Because we played it as a group.
Yeah.
We beat it as a group. And
had an amazing time.
Amazing time of, like, laughing at how bad the graphics were, how bad a lot of it was, but it had that charm that like pushed it over the edge. So
scene after scene, just
that
memorable characters and moments.
D4 came out, and that was supposed to be an episodic thing. Didn't get finished. He got sick and ill and had to leave that company.
We didn't think he was ever going to make another game.
So he was
on Twitter like, I'm going to write a book, and we're like, oh no,
he's done. We thought it was done. It was sad to see D4 not being finished, but he came back, baby, and he announced on Fig. Have you guys heard of Fig?
No.
It is Kickstarter, kind of created by that Tim Schafer is a part of it, I think. But it's their own like crowdfunding thing. But like,
that's weird.
There's people already there's like investors that put money into it, or they put the remaining.
So it's like trying to be more transparent.
Yes. For games, and more specifically for games, and Kickstarter is for like everything.
It's weird to me when companies will like say, we'll put some money in, let's see if some peasants will also put some money in so we can make some money.
Yeah.
I don't get...
Yeah, that one feels
fund the game.
Yeah.
If you're going to make the game fun, it
doesn't exist anymore.
Maybe it's a way of trying to drum up like buy-in from the consumers.
Yeah.
I guess, but...
How much?
Just pay the rest of it, if you're already going to play that. But, so we put it on Fig, and I didn't back it because I'm just weirded out by the funding thing right now, the crowdsourcing and all that stuff. But the trailer came out, and it is as wacky as you would expect from Swery. You're trying to investigate, this girl died in this town, what's happening, whatever. It's very Twin Peaks-esque, just like Deadly Premonition or whatever.
I see where this is going.
It's a whodunit kind of story.
It is.
Yes, but you walk around the town, the graphics look really weird, like polygon, but like they have a cool art style to it. Here's the twist. It cuts in the trailer. Everyone turns to cats at nighttime.
Okay, so that was what I was going to ask.
So all the
screenshots I saw was cats.
Yeah, so there's like real people in the town, but at nighttime everyone turns into kitty cats.
That is perfect for him because he's always done weird
it goes
cat
a step
stuff.
further. I want to talk about this. This is hot off the press from today. So it looks pretty funny. It looks like okay, we're investigating stuff. Then it got announced today. Well, let me rewind that. They're also doing dogs, and there's going to be two versions, like Pokemon Red and Blue-esque with this game.
No way.
There's going to be a cat version and a dog version.
Where they turn into dogs?
Yeah, they'll turn into dogs instead.
Oh my God.
And he described it, some people were complaining on Twitter to him, was like, is there any way to get DLC on this stuff? He's like, it's just like Pokemon Red and Blue. You buy that, there's two different things on that. So you have the dog version, and you can do stuff. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes.
I am going to back this.
So it's called The Good Life Cat and The Good Life Dog. That's the subtitle of it.
Oh my God, I'm in for this.
Are you a cat guy or a dog guy?
I'm a dog guy.
I'm a dog guy.
Woof. But what cracked me up today was just that other level of sweary where it's like you tilt your head like, what's going on? It was announced today, like in an interview or whatever. It's like, yeah, the main character, she turns. I guess the townspeople always turn out at night. They turn into cats. But the main character said, yeah, the girl turns into the cat on her period.
No, what is he doing?
And it just was mentioned very nonchalantly in the interview, and people were like, oh, so she... Why? Like, what's the premise for that? So, look forward to the good life.
Oh my god!
Not sure how that's going to turn out, but we will see.
Why would you?
I'm telling you right now, this man will never fail to entertain you.
Yeah,
he will never fail to entertain you.
So that you're telling me that a video game character will go through like
it's once a month. It's said in the game or whatever, or when it's once a month in the thing. That's when she turns into a cat on her period.
God bless Swery.
All right, so that's I think that's it for that. Do you want to take over the next thing on our list?
It's our next thing.
It's not dead.
I have a drum roll.
It's not dead. Oh, I better not be on that.
Left Alive trailer reveal. Left Alive. They dropped the trailers as Gamescom.
Yep.
And who was this? Square?
It was, Square Enix.
So, Yoji Shinkawa, really good artist.
Metal Gear Boy.
He draws the Metal Gears.
That's his official title.
Metal Gear Boy. He started out as Metal Gear intern, and then he became Metal Gear Boy on Metal Gear Solid 2. Sure, if you've ever seen that really awesome artwork that kind of is associated with all the Metal Gear games of like Snake, and he's like really unique art style.
Yeah, all the artwork from that.
All of that's by Yoji Shinkawa, and he and a couple of other former Kojima Square.
There's a
Konami.
former guy who did the Front Mission games.
But
this is set in the Front Mission world.
Okay,
those games.
Essentially, it's kind of this collection of some Kojima people, some Front Mission people, Yoji Shinkawa, and they have put together a trailer and what looks like a game that is, for all intents and purposes, looks like a spiritual successor to Metal Gear.
Yeah,
I don't think
looks
that
like the Fox engine.
Yeah, it looks like the Fox engine. I don't think that we're jumping to conclusion by saying that's what they're aiming for.
Yeah.
With the trailer, the tone of it, the look of it, it's third person, stealth, action. I'm intrigued by it. Couple things. Highly encourage you watch the trailer if you like Metal Gear. Check it out. Left Alive. Couple things. It might be early in production, but some of just like the animations and stuff just look really janky.
It looks early.
It looks early.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look super polished. But part of that, what concerns me in that is that part of what makes the Metal Gear games what they are is Kojima's obsession with polish and detail, and this could be cool, but if it's bland Metal Gear without like the sharp focus that Kojima brings, it might fall flat. Like, it might just kind of feel like a shell. Yeah. But I'm in. I'm interested. I want to see more. What do you guys think of this?
I'm worried that it has some really cool people on the team. Very creative people. But who is steering the ship?
Yeah, who's driving this thing?
That's what I was going to say. There's no one that's stepped up and like, hey, this is like the direction they're going. Like, this trailer is the only, like, is it
and
the
this
first?
This is all they've released. It's early in the game.
That's what I'm
but
saying.
there has not been like a press release like, this is what this game is.
Yeah.
This is our focus. So, I love Metal Gear, but like, what are we doing? Are we going to retread like the Spy kind of thing from Metal Gear 3? Are we going to retread the nano machines or like the postmodern stuff? What Kojima has always done is he's always brought a really interesting thought to the forefront. Whether it was the first Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear Solid 2 with all of his concepts on memes, his whole like James Bond, like patriotism, like the soldier, losing everything for the sake of the country for Metal Gear Solid 3. Every game he made had a really strong vision and core idea that he did not compromise on. I think it's really unfair to hold Left Alive to that standard. Yeah. But it's asking for the comparison in the way it's revealing itself. So it's kind of like this might be a 7 out of a 10 game, and it might even feel like less than that because of what it's immediately day one putting itself in comparison to. So I'm interested, but I'm trying to keep myself... we wanted Metal Gear Solid 5 Chapter 3.
So
we all wanted it. It's not coming, and I know Kojima's not making it. Kojima's making something else, so maybe we'll talk about later. And maybe actually after this would be a good time. But yeah, this looks cool. But like, are we just going to retread? Is this going to do something new? Who's steering the ship? That's kind of my question.
So in these kind of situations, how would you two go about avoiding like unfair expectations?
Go in with no expectations. Like
I have no expectation of it.
But like,
because like you see all these big names and you start to go, you start to get like starstruck, like, oh, this is going to be the best game we'll played and stuff.
Exactly what we're doing right now, which is realizing who's their leader. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you get all these good players and they don't have a quarterback, like they're going to go 8-8.
I was waiting. I was wondering. I was like, who's going to bring up the sports comparison? Because I need that to know.
So coming up, Madden 18. I'm just kidding. No,
and actually, I really would love to touch on, while we're talking about we don't know what the core idea of that game would be. Kojima put out a really cool article. He wrote it in the Rolling Stone. And it was kind of a mix of his love for Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And then he compared Dunkirk to his new game. If you haven't seen Dunkirk, I think we can kind of discuss it a little bit. One of the things I loved about Dunkirk was it's a war movie that does not show the face of the Germans at all. But not just that, Kojima says in his article, it doesn't even ever once show us killing a German.
Yeah.
There's some plain stuff here and there, but there's no like direct combat fighting like British person to German. And so he said that he loved that he was able to tell, or that Christopher Nolan was able to tell a success story without the destruction of another person, but actually it was success and escape. And he said that's similar to what he wants to do with Death Stranding. And then he used the same, like rocks, you throw at targets, you throw at things. He says he's made a lot of games about rocks. He wants to make a game about ropes, which is about pulling.
I thought it was sticks.
Or sticks. You use sticks. That's what it is. Who can keep up? You use sticks. You use sticks to hit things.
Yeah.
And he said ropes pull good things to yourself. And what he has said is that Death Stranding is a game where he wants the player to be pulling good things to themselves.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Which is a funny word. What is it? Like what?
Here's the thing. Number one, if he's able to do this. This could be very influential because what do we do in almost every game we play?
Destroy.
We destroy. We don't ever really like draw to ourselves, like in strategy games maybe and stuff like that. So I think it has potential to be really interesting on a gameplay level. But every trailer we've seen of this freaking game is fricked up and looks potentially violent. Like like the Mads Mikkelsen, he's with like a SWAT team. Yeah. And like you got Guillermo del Toro with like a baby or something in his hands. And,
but I mean...
So like I'm so interested in Kojima's game because his mind is somewhere, and when his mind is somewhere interesting, I will follow him wherever because he is 5 out of 5 for me on that. And so then Wait Against Left Alive, cool, looks flashy, looks awesome. I couldn't tell you based on the trailer what the thing is. Mm-hmm. So,
One thing interesting about that, or what were you going to say, Jacob?
Well, I was just saying, that's probably why you like Dunkirk so much, because like they used war, but you never saw the combat. So the SWAT teams and stuff like in that one trailer marching down the street, but
it was a different kind of war movie.
It was a different kind of war movie. I had not seen a war movie.
It was a war movie without trying to fight the enemy.
Yeah, and if that's what he does with an action game where you don't try to fight the enemy, which is kind of what Metal Gear always was.
That's all I was going to say. Was that when reading this. I am excited for this. I'm definitely on board for Death Stranding's my most anticipated game. But reading this article, I went, "That's Metal Gear." Like he was like Dunkirk, and you're trying not to fight the enemies.
He turned because he talks about Dunkirk, and then he talks about Metal Gear, and then he talks about Death Stranding, and he says he got close with Metal Gear, but he never got where he wanted to go. You didn't see that part?
No.
He says that. He wanted Metal Gear to be about similar things to Dunkirk and Death Stranding, but Metal Gear still put the stick in the player's hand. He said that's the difference with Death Stranding is he's not.
So you're not going to be able to even hurt anybody in this game.
I don't know. Maybe you'll just be putting babies on yourself the whole time.
You'll have one weapon. It's that baby in that vial.
It's going to be a Katamari Damacy thing. You're going to roll around.
I just can't.
You start rolling around.
There's so much floating around this title. It's hard to gauge what direction.
We still don't know what the heck this is.
I'm excited for Death Stranding. We managed to take the Left Alive story and turn it into how excited we are for Death Stranding.
Yeah, exactly.
That's positive.
And while we're talking about these two games, I just want to bring it up. Metal Gear Survive. There's been more stuff coming out about that.
I didn't see anything else.
There was like gameplay, like they did demos at Gamescom, and it really is like you have active craft. So something, I guess they really have changed some things from Metal Gear Solid 5. If you've played Metal Gear Solid 5, I know you played a lot of it. I played a lot of it. They changed your left and right bumper to hold gadgets at the same time. So you can, like, build, like, structures and, like, you can lay traps with your right hand. And you can build things with your left hand.
What have they done with that game?
So, like, I was watching gameplay and, like, they're getting, like, swarmed by things.
So is it kind of like Minecraft building? Or
it has elements of that, yeah. Like, you're trying to build things and lay traps, and then you pull your guns out and shoot. And it carries over a lot of the stuff I liked about Metal Gear Solid 5 of, like, I have 100 tools. How can I set these up to do something cool? Part of me wants to believe, like, there is a team of people that are really trying to make something cool. Yeah. And they're frustrated and whatever, because Konami seems like a rough place to be these days. Yeah. I'm obviously going to wait around, but, like, I'm kind of curious in that. I think it could be fun.
We'll find out.
But it's not going to be a Metal Gear game. Yeah. It'll be a fun Fox Engine game.
Yeah. If you were done with us talking about Kojima games, we'll strap right back in. Put the seatbelt right back on, because we're talking about Zone of the Enders.
Oh my gosh.
2 Remaster. I looked to make sure it is the remaster of that game.
Wait, I have the remaster.
But this is the remaster of the remaster. This is a 4K.
Is it a remake?
It's a 4K remaster.
I just freaking bought the remaster.
Throw it in the trash.
Of 1 or 2?
2. Okay. So some people were kind of upset. They're like, what about 1?
1 sucks.
1 is the demo.
I've been stuck playing 1. I've never played 2. I've played 1 to the same point twice, and I get stuck. It's cool, but it's not good.
Yeah, it's not. It's neat, but the voice acting is kind of corny. Even a 2, it's corny at times, but, like, 2 is, like, so refined.
When did this game come out?
The first one came out 2001.
Yeah, because it had the demo for Metal Gear Solid 2.
Okay, and they remastered it already.
And that was 2 was, like, 2003 or 4.
Have you seen the concept art of the Zone of the Enders 3 that got canceled?
No.
It was
like... Oh, yeah, because I remember that.
There was a Zone of the Enders 3 that was pretty deep into development, or pre-production at least, I think.
We'll see that.
And there was, like, there's art on the internet of, like Enders, which are what they call the big mechs, like, that had grass all over them. They had been, like, buried, and they were, like, decrepit and stuff. And there was just a lot of really cool ideas going around for that game.
But they also...
that's sad.
Another great YouTube, I'm wearing the shirt, Meg64 made a great video on this. I don't know if you get to see it, but they made a video on the Zone of the Enders VR thing, because that just sounds like you're going to puke all over the place. Because it is fast action.
Yeah.
So, like, how is that going to work with VR and stuff? So they just made a video where everybody's puking in it.
The only thing in which it might work... It won't.
You tried to give him the benefit of the doubt for a second.
I was thinking sometimes in VR when you're in mechs and stuff, or when you're in vehicles, it helps with some of the motion stuff, but it's just too fast.
It's a really fast game.
I mean,
but I think you can play the whole game without the. You don't have to play the VR.
Well, you can just play it as it was. Strap in, boys. That'll be a ride. Oh my god.
I'm gonna get that puke all over the place.
Well, I mean, do you ever play Rigs on the PlayStation VR?
I did, and it is pretty intense.
Yeah, you're technically stationary, so they kind of trick you, but you're not stationary because you're moving.
Yeah,
and it's weird. Like,
I couldn't get past it. I had to aim with my neck.
Yeah, you had to aim with your head.
And I was like, "Where's the sensitivity?"
Change the sensitivity, break your neck. Just like,
you just like throw your neck around. No, that was frustrating. I don't know. VR still has a long way to go, and for something like that. And same goes for like the Doom that they're trying to make and everything else.
Doom on the VR.
It's gonna be.
But that one is Blink.
But see, that again.
Whereas Zone of the Enders, I don't think it's Blink.
That's what I mean.
But Doom's a really fast game.
I'm trying to give a comparison.
It doesn't really fit.
It doesn't fit.
They're not gonna fit the moniker of what VR is right now. Yeah. You know, Skyrim, there's walking points.
Yeah, you're walking slow.
But
is Skyrim and Fallout Blink also?
No, I think that there's an option for Skyrim Blink. I think I could be wrong, but definitely walking. Like all the stuff I saw.
Yeah, you can press up on the pads or whatever it is. I just think overall with this idea and going in VR, toss it out the window, get a barf bag when you buy it.
Yeah, it is
not going to end well. So might be fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
did you watch the Direct?
Oh, Nintendo! I love you. I hope you know that. But
did you watch the Direct?
Yes,
you did.
So I'm kind of gung-ho about this. Here's why.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
No, recap for me.
Okay, so a couple cool things did get announced. They're kind of late to the game, but we did get to see Doom coming to the Switch and Wolfenstein.
That was surprising. Yeah, the new one. So that shocked me. That it's getting the new Wolfenstein. The Doom port's pretty cool. But
Bethesda's all in on the Switch.
They are.
Well,
Skyrim hasn't even come out yet, and now they're porting those two.
And I think Doom. I don't know how well Doom will sell on the Switch. I don't know.
I think that'd be.
I think it'll sell well.
I've heard some people say like that'd be fun to go on the go, like playing.
Maybe I think Skyrim's going to be Bethesda's big thing for the Switch. I don't know why. Skyrim's just. Why does that game sell? Like.
I don't know.
It is.
I love that game. That's one of my favorite from last gen, but I don't know. I think it just resonates like it's just a big world.
It could be released on every console at different times.
They found the perfect balance point between RPG and super casual.
Yeah.
Like, if you are mildly into RPGs, you can get into it. If you are mildly into fantasy stuff, you can get into it. If you're mildly into video games, you can get into it. It's the perfect... Like, Morrowind was way over here on the RPG. Like, no casual... I can't even enjoy Morrowind. I've tried. And I like video games a lot. Yeah. I just don't like stabbing the rat 80 times and hitting him twice.
Yeah.
Like...
It's not fun.
So with Oblivion, they moved it a little bit more towards the center, and with Skyrim, they nailed it on the dartboard. They didn't nail it for me. I really don't love that game. I have some fun with it, but they hit a sweet spot at the right time, at the right place, and it sold so well that they have no reason to do anything else with the IP until it doesn't sell well.
Yeah, so I mean, I can see why.
It's just kind of...
they're milking that cow till...
yeah,
it's done with.
Now, did you? Now, when
and
you
it
say
will sell well on the Switch.
You were surprised by Wolfenstein?
I was surprised with the new Wolfenstein.
I'm more surprised by Wolfenstein than Doom because Doom is already out. It's a proven product, so they ported it. Wolfenstein's not even out, and that game looks amazing. And the reveal trailer and stuff, it's got very high. And I know they're downscaling the textures for the Switch, but I was shocked that they're gonna do. Is it day and date or is it gonna be later?
I do think it's next year. It's like
that is shocking because we've been getting a lot of ports, AAA ports.
But this is the first thing that's like
it's not like a different dev team made this different version. Like,
or wait, is Wolfenstein 2 this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was about to say that they're a little months behind.
Well, that's what
2018
so
is the Switch version. But still, that's pretty insane.
Still, even though it's not day and date,
yeah.
I was more so. If you told me, hey, Doom is coming out on the Switch, I'd say that's really cool. I would not have expected that. If you told me the Wolfenstein that's not even out yet is coming out on the Switch, I'd be like, what?
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's a huge get for Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo's definitely. I think the biggest issue Nintendo's facing now is getting those ports lined up with launch days of third-party titles. But I don't think third-party title launch days are like as big as first party.
I don't think that's necessarily the end of the world. They just gotta make more Switches.
Yeah, well, I mean,
that's
the real problem.
I would say it's really cool to have like some games are like fun, but it's like I don't want to sit here and play this on my couch in front of my TV. But some of the stuff, if I'm like out and about or whatever, if I'm on vacation, wow, this is fun. I'll play this on the go. Like that could be like a, gives you another chance to play games.
I normally wouldn't care about that when I realize they're on the Switch. I'm more likely to try it
because it's that other aspect of the Switch.
And that's what I mean. So I was actually at the beginning of the month, something crappy happened. I ended up in the hospital, and I was in there for a couple of days. You brought my Switch over.
Yeah.
I was able to get on the hospital Wi-Fi, and I got a game called The Binding of Isaac.
And
my little brother,
my friends are
150% in it. All right, he's training right now for the next DLC that's come out, and I played it with him, and he watched me. He's like, "You suck at this game." He's like, "You're so slow. You're awful." And I sat there and I hated it because I'm sitting there and I got it on the Switch. Man, that was so much fun.
Really?
I don't know why it changed me. I
thought about playing that exact game.
That's what I'm saying. I'm playing. I'm like, this just feels like it was a mobile game to begin with. And because I'm holding it in a mobile platform, And
there's
all
something
those,
to be said about like
those
couch versus like. There's some games that are fun for like pick up. And
Puyo Puyo Tetris has been on PS4 and stuff for years. I have not buying a Tetris game to play on my PS4.
Yeah,
I got it on my Switch though because my girlfriend likes Tetris and I've played it a ton. I've played that game a ton over the summer and yeah, there's just something about it.
The appeal,
the portability and setting it up and
the appeal is
really
there for Doom and Wolfenstein. And I mean, like I said, Wolfenstein's huge. I think that's something the Switch can walk away with if they get more product out before December.
I think it's gonna be. I don't know that people who are interested in Switches, I don't think are gonna be put over the edge by something like Wolfenstein.
No, but
it's gonna be. But here's what's gonna be. It's gonna be huge for Bethesda because there are people that own Switches that probably don't own gaming PCs and probably don't own, PS4s and whatnot. That will say, "Oh, that looks cool. I'm not used to having that kind of thing available." And then by Bethesda making a ton of money on that and on Doom, that will encourage them and other third-party developers to put more on Nintendo. So Nintendo will gain in a roundabout way from it.
Nintendo's working on a third-party base. This is a great start for it. But switching back to first-party.
Switching back to Switch.
Oh, yeah, this Direct.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You gotta make the little clip.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
And this is where I think this is
I feel
more...
like I've seen trailers for this, 8 directs and events in a row.
And every single time it said Holiday 20.
I'm excited, but I didn't even watch the latest one.
Really?
Because I feel like I saw 30, 40 minutes of gameplay at
I'm with you.
and 3 different trailers.
Yeah, so
I don't really need to see anymore.
I started to watch. It was kind of funny the way they did this. I'm almost even kind of sad I saw what I did because it's like it was this character, but it was kind of funny how they did the direct. It's this character that's in the game or whatever. And it's an old man, and he did the whole direct in this voice. You can actually use your blades to get stronger. And it was kind of charming and funny at the same time. I had a fun time with it. So I just scrubbed through because it's I just kind of looked off. I didn't want to see the whole thing.
But it's pretty long.
Man, I'm so psyched. And they said, again, it is coming. Or now they gave it a date, December 1st. Of this year, and I did not think they were going to make it.
There's so much. Hey,
I did not think it was possible. So I
wow.
I'm jumping back on this.
Ate my words when I said no way.
Can I just straight up jump in with this game?
Yes.
I've not played.
Yes.
it.
Yeah, you don't have to play the first one.
Yeah, I played Xenoblade Chronicles on the DS on my flight to Dallas.
Yeah,
I got pretty far into it. I really enjoyed it. The DS version sucks, but I got to play the game, and then I have Chronicles. I have X. Sitting over there, and for the Wii U, which I sold. Rip, but I have it.
Chronicles is more story based than
that's
exploration
what I thought
based.
I had read.
And X was extremely exploration based, and I loved that one too. But I missed kind of the story stuff, and this one kind of is with a return to characters and
I am down for the world
stuff.
And the combat system looks different, and I like that. It looks totally out of the box. I like everything I've seen. I like the art style. Yeah. I just don't like that dude's pants.
So
I just don't like his pants.
In the first Chronicles?
Put a big picture of his pants right here.
I will.
What is this? What is he carrying? Bags of water in his shins?
Are you talking about for this one or the first one?
For this one.
Yeah,
you don't like the pants?
He's got some weird hooves. He's got some weird pants.
So you're gonna be ashamed of your actions and deeds.
What's he got in there? What's he got in those
water?
pants?
What's he hiding in those pants?
What you got in those jeans?
Comment below. What's in his pants?
Thick legs.
Is there any more room for me in those jeans? You ever heard that song?
No. Hey, but here's a funny thread. I thought we'd enjoy talking about this, especially with what you've been doing lately and what you've been doing lately. So I'm on NeoGAF and I'm a beginner, but I did see an awesome thread. Is Xenoblade Nintendo's answer for Final Fantasy? And what he was wanting to know is, since you don't
that was
really,
what he wrote. That was what the guy wrote.
They're wondering if Xenoblade's going to become this next long drawn out answer.
I think it is a good RPG for them because they bought Monolith Soft. They're like a second party type deal thing or whatever.
I think that
I think it was.
I don't know how you really answer Final Fantasy because it's got this huge lineage. But as far as Final Fantasy knows, as far as Xenoblade, from my understanding, they're unconnected.
Yeah.
So you got Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 now, and you've got Xenoblade X. I would like to see them just continue to go back and forth between the X series
cool.
and then the 2, 3, the story series. Yeah, because that's what Final Fantasy has done. Is sometimes they're more gameplay based, sometimes they're more story. Lately, the past 10 years, it's pretty much just all been story.
Yeah.
But like 5 and 8, Final Fantasy 5 and 8,
even like 12 was more action. Kind of that, and then like 13 was this, and then 15's now an action RPG, and they said we're not going to make them all action RPG.
Well, someone.
I think that to answer that guy's question, that does kind of seem like what they're trying to do, and honestly, it's been impressive how quickly they've been able to rattle these games off.
I think Nintendo still feels a little burned from losing Final Fantasy 2.
Yeah, I don't think you get over that.
Like knowing the franchise that kind of became what it is. They're trying to think now to pick up the piece, and it's crazy. It's happening now.
I don't know that it's. I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles was on their Wii,
well,
so
I mean.
They've had Xenoblade for a while. I don't know that it's that they're trying to pick up the pieces. I think they just see, hey, there's a gap in our portfolio. We could have a game. I'm imagining they're thinking about it this way. We could have a game that's more of a true RPG, like a Final Fantasy, and I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense for any company to try to have something like that. So
I'm looking forward to Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Mm-hmm. I don't know how I'm going to have time to play through another
Mario
giant RPG.
The Switch has had the greatest first party lineup in the
this year's been incredible.
It'll be interesting to see next year.
Yes. First year, they nailed it.
Are we going to get directs next year where we got the ARMS commentator going, ooh, this summer there's one new character. And get your free Zelda wallpaper on the Switch Marketplace. I'm a little bit worried about that.
So we'll see.
But I've got plenty to play anyway.
Next up, who played Red Dead Redemption here?
I played Red Dead Revolver. And that was it. That's the only one I ever played.
Then did you see the new trailer?
No.
All right, I'll talk.
Yeah, we need you. We need you to tag in here.
You need me for the Red Dead heads. That's what they call me.
I don't.
So Red Dead Redemption. I did not play the first one. Off to a good start. Red Dead Redemption 2, though.
We're not really the authorities.
But I like GTA. I like that. I like Rockstar's game.
Every time a GTA game comes out,
but you know what?
Pick it up, I screw around with it.
Red Dead Redemption, the first one, led to the funniest glitches I've ever seen in a video game.
Really?
Me and my friends would go on YouTube, and the game was buggy as frick.
Yeah.
And it was the good type of buggy where it doesn't impede you having fun, but one of the bigger bugs was people could, like their character model, could be replaced with animals. So, for example, some guy could pull up to, I think it's John Marston was the main character.
How's that glitch?
I'll have to show you, I might even put in some, I'm going to put in some footage because it's really funny and weird to see. There was a guy that got glitched out, and he was like on a buggy or carriage or whatever, as a horse. But it keeps the bone structure in the animation. So this horse is holding on to the thing going, John, come over here. It is literally like a nightmare feel of like this horse going,
how have I never seen
come over here, John Marston. And then there's another guy that's like, what is he? I think it's another horse. And he has like voice acting everything where he's trying to fly. There's a side quest where you're trying to fly with like a hang glider he made.
What in the world?
You're talking to this guy, and he's like, all right, I'm going to try it out. And it's a horse, and he grabs on the thing, and you just see this horse just spreading on this thing.
I need to look at this.
So it is pretty unbelievable. I hope that they, maybe they kept that in Red Dead Redemption 2. We'll see. But the new trailer looks tight. I am excited for that.
Is there gameplay?
There is game. I think so.
Would it be staged gameplay, maybe?
It definitely was like real time.
At this stage, it's going to be...
There was gameplay. Yeah. There was gameplay and stuff. Okay. There's people jumping on trains, doing wacky stuff, but like the facial animations and like the story and stuff, I'm really excited about because
I'm just happy that they're making another game.
Yeah.
Because I was worried for a minute.
They're riding GTA 5.
GTA 5 train all the way.
While we're talking, sorry, you were saying about there was something in the trailer.
Oh, I was just going to say, like, I'm really big into the HBO show Westworld. Mm-hmm. So, like, that, and then I was watching that when they announced Red Dead, and I was just like, oh, yeah, put me in this, like, Western world, I'm really into this. So that is next spring. This spring of 2018.
On the topic of Rockstar, LA Noire is getting ported to the Switch too?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
Hey,
that game has the most uncanny facial animations. It disturbs me. It
you know
really
that
does.
was rating online.
I might pick that up on the Switch because that is a game that I've always liked, and I've never finished it because I just feel like when I'm sitting at the console, and it's kind of slow paced. Being able to lay in bed and play the missions
could be cool.
That could be cooler.
Are we getting GTA 5 on the Switch?
Well, what I was going to say was, if they're porting LA Noire of all things, it's probably because they were already working on a remaster, and so they're probably going to say, "Hey, if this does well, why wouldn't they do it?"
Because
and what I really want,
too.
What I really want is for them to do Red Dead Redemption.
Yes,
onto the Switch because
I would like that on PC as well.
Us and everybody else on the internet. you know the only way to really play Red Dead Redemption right now, Xbox One.
Because it's backwards compatible.
That's so.
So now we have two things we can use an Xbox.
So
One.
Okay, two reasons: Halo and Red Dead. So I'm really looking forward to that, and it looks really cool. So spring, that'll be a cool spring game.
Cool,
guys. Happy birthday
to Halo 3.
Happy
birthday to Halo 3. Happy 10th birthday, Halo 3. Happy birthday to you. One of the best games
legendary
ever made. Woo!
Slayer.
Because
Slayer anniversary Slayer
Halo 3 to me, we talked about it, I think one of the last podcasts. Halo 3 is a game we almost use in our rating scale.
Yeah.
It's almost become like a hidden rating because it is we found what I had with issues with Destiny. We talked about this last time. Co-op, you can't play 4 players, but you can do it with Halo 3.
Yeah.
Just play Halo 3. So it's become a term for us when it comes to if somebody makes a new version of a game and it's worse than the last, or you have a more refined thing in the past, just play Halo 3.
Yep.
So Halo 3, man, I just want to talk just for a little bit our memories, kind of the nostalgia of that time, because that's super still vivid in my mind. I can still remember that vividly, like it about to come out, the freaking cat helmet collector's edition.
I remember the helmet.
The helmet that came with the collector's edition, and they called it the cat helmet because it was not a full helmet.
Yep.
So that's why I didn't get the collector's edition, because I was just like, it's this little cat thing. I look back, maybe I should have got it now. Could have put it on a cat for cats in the good life. Once a month, I've been able to put that on that main character's head. I also, this was a big thing. The game was the hype around this game, because Halo 2 was a phenomenon. But Halo 3 was, I feel like, maybe even bigger at times of hype because it was HD.
Yeah.
It was, we get to actually see Halo in this new graphics and like, oh my gosh, like, so I remember going into my computer class. And this is how crazy the hype was. And I would open the door like to this all these people with their computers and go, da 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 da, and everyone turned around at the same time, da 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 da, and it just turned up this whole chorus in this class.
People start walking in the class, and like, oh my god,
it was such
what a time to be alive.
It was unbelievable, the hype around that, and
HD video gaming.
It delivered and then some, because it had the recording. You could record right on there.
Yeah.
Like before that,
single player and multiplayer.
Before that, you had
all
to do,
angles.
Yeah, you could change your angles. Before that, you had to do it on PC, and it was a whole process.
Yeah.
But like the recording, the forge, you get to forge your own like maps and add little stuff.
You could create your own game modes, create your own maps, and put them on your file share.
Yeah.
And then other people could take your game modes and maps.
Yeah.
And then they even had a community section where Bungie would sometimes pick people's maps and put them in the rotation in the highlighted.
So people would have these floating ramps up in the sky. It just got nuts. It just got crazy. The possibilities of that stuff.
I was a Nintendo kid, and I got my original Xbox. And we had Halo and Halo 2. Halo 2 was already out when I got my original Xbox. and it took me a month to beat Halo, and it took me 2 days to beat Halo 2.
Which one do you remember more?
Probably Halo 2, honestly. I love both games, but I played Halo 2 a ton. But I never played online. So I was not able to get Xbox Live until the 360 because I don't know what it was. The original Xbox Live, for whatever reason, my mom was sketched out by it.
Yeah.
But when Xbox 360 came out,
same thing.
there was something about the way they presented it that she went from saying absolutely not to, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. It was the same service, different box.
Well, we didn't have Wi-Fi to like connect all that.
Yeah.
That was harder.
Yeah, so maybe it was partially because we got Wi-Fi.
Because was there Wi-Fi in the original Xbox, or would you have the hardline?
Hardline.
And
that's why
I
we
think
didn't get
with
it.
Xbox
That is
360, they
why.
made the smart move of making it to where you didn't need a credit card. You could actually get Microsoft points
Microsoft
Yeah.
and get
Yes.
codes. So I got a 360, and I've been playing Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter was my first game, and then I played Prey, and then I played Gears of War, and it was all just in anticipation for Halo 3. I remember the 2006 E3 trailer, where it's out in the sand, and Cortana...
that bubble.
Yeah, and Master Chief comes out, and the graphics are HD, and it looks amazing, and that music rises, and the thing that's not in the game just comes rising up out of the ground. And it finished the fight, and I just...
Finished the fight. We would go up to each other and like school and be like, "You need to finish the fight."
I could
man.
not. From that E3
was so
trailer
funny.
on, I was already excited, but they would drop these little little teasers in the Xbox 360 Live. Like, you could get free like demos and free game videos of games you were excited about, and I would download those things. And they were releasing them like once a month, and there was one with like all these, like, it was like a still frame of a war, and and there was like a brute holding up the Master Chief, and it was like going through this whole war with this music, and the Master Chief, has a grenade, and there were just so many great teasers and so many great things leading up to that game that when it came out, I was like, this will be my first online Halo, this will be my first HD Halo. It has everything I want in a game, and it was my only midnight release I've ever been to, and it was my first one at the time.
Yeah,
and,
I went to the midnight release,
and I stood in line with my friends. We got there.
We might have went to the same.
We ate at like a GameStop here in town
in Bridgewater.
No. Right over here. We went to CC's and ate, and then we stood in line for 4 hours, and everybody in line was just talking about how they could not wait to get home with the game. I went home, played it until 5 a.m. Slept for 2 seconds, went to school, got out of school, I slept through all my classes, came home, and just started playing
I took off
again.
too.
And
Definitely took off for that one.
I did everything. I dove into everything. I made maps in Forge. I played online. I blew through the campaign. I played through it again, co-op, split screen. Then I played through it again online with my friends. And
4-player co-op.
I was building. I was trying to build up. I was trying to build up my rank, and I love that game. Yeah. I love that game. It's pretty crazy that it's 10 years ago. It does feel like 10 years in a way, but in another way, like...
But it's very fresh in my mind, like the mood,
the memories,
the atmosphere of it. Like, Xbox 360 was like, oh my gosh, this is the system. Like, that was the system of last gen. Like, oh my gosh.
That was an event.
Yeah.
That was an event.
I had to play... When I grew up, because I played second fiddle to every Halo game we got. So we had one Xbox. We had the Halo Edition Xbox. So my brother had Halo Day One. And
you had Halo 1 Day One?
Well, we had it when it first came out.
Really?
The Xbox.
Wow.
The lime green. The inside, you can look inside of it.
Really?
Oh yeah.
The small controller, not the fat one. The small Halo controller. So Jeffrey's playing it, and I'm watching him play it. And then when he was done, I got to do my part. And that's when I was like, out of my memory, I always play second fiddle. So that's how I did with Halo 1, Halo 2. Then we got the first 360, and he got Halo 3.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't have to play second fiddle anymore.
Yeah.
Me and him sat there, and we played the campaign together.
That's awesome.
And it just solved a lot of issues.
Yeah.
And then I just got done this past year, played through all 5 of them, and man, Halo 3 just sticks out.
It's just so incredibly refined. And before this started, I actually compared it to 20 Hawks Pro Skater 2 and 3.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
20 Hawks Pro Skater 2 is my favorite.
Yes.
It just has all of the kind of things I look for. It had, the best soundtrack, the best, you create a skater, create a park, all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
But 3 added all this cool stuff, extra stuff. It's the most refined of the series.
Yeah.
2's my favorite. And we were talking, 3 is my favorite Halo 3. It's most refined or whatever, but I understand what people think.
Yeah,
too,
to me, and not to take shine away from Halo 3, because it's day, Halo 2, I would say, is still my favorite. You know, if I was on a desert island with a multiplayer and a campaign, I'd probably take 2, just because I really like 3's campaign. To be honest, though, I don't really know what happened. To me, there were just more set pieces and things that stuck out into, and the multiplayer balance into of everything dual wielding. We were even playing it earlier tonight. I feel like you can always pick up a combination of something, even if they've got a sword. There's something you can grab. Whereas with 3, they added the bubble shields, and they started adding some different things that I think that 3, like you said, most refined. I slightly prefer 2, but 3. It was so ahead of its time.
Yeah.
With the file share,
recording.
And the recording. The recording is unbelievable.
We're playing co-op.
That we had that
Destiny can't even keep up with it now.
No.
In a lot of ways, there's a lot of things that were in Halo 3 that are not in Destiny, So,
I definitely just say, agree with
or
him.
any other game. What other game has built-in, you can record yourself playing the multiplayer and the single player and do all these different angles? Not very many games.
What's funny is, now, I feel like this
generation.
generation, they finally caught up to Halo 3 because now you hit the share button.
But even then, it's not the same because
it's not the same because
Halo Halo 3 would capture the entire level, and you could go into the camera and zoom around and look at what you wanted to. And
they knew what we wanted.
Moment where I played.
Just play Halo 3.
I played online with my friend. We played through a mission against the Flood. And I remember recording it and then going back and watching. And when you're playing Halo, your friends and you will split up sometimes. Yeah. And I used the camera and followed him into another room that he went in and watched what he did. And I was like, this is insane. Yeah. I can, after the fact, go and look at what my friend did and pull cool angles and screenshots of him doing it.
And so many cool videos came from that online of people follow the grenade, where it went and landed here and killed all these people. Such a fun time. I liked Reach. I thought that one was really fun.
I never played Reach.
Yeah, but
Reach was that was the last Bungie one.
I mess with ODST.
You got this fuzz hanging from me, and it's killing me.
I messed with ODST. Played the first few missions.
ODST was,
and it didn't really start.
ODST I skipped over.
It was a turd, to be honest.
Yeah. And so that turned me off of Reach. Honestly, when Reach came out in 2010, that is I've talked on the podcast for about from late 2009. To 2012, I didn't play games.
Yeah, you were.
I didn't even own a console for 2 of those.
You played
years.
Halo 3.
I owned no game system. I went to college. Oddly enough, a lot of people go to college and play war games. I went to college and didn't play any games.
He did the right thing.
And Reach came out in the heart of that time, and I couldn't care less.
Yeah,
I really couldn't care less. And so
I could see that. I think a big bummer for me was no Master Chief.
Yeah.
Why am I playing as this guy with a skull painted on his face?
I just know that ODST, in my opinion, is worse than Halo 4. But that's just my...
I just never cared to play it. It just seemed like a kind of tactic.
How could you make Halo 3?
I played a couple missions, and I don't know what it is about Nathan Fillion. He's in every game I play.
Yeah, every single game.
But his character, it was playing this weird L.A. noir music, with a weird oboe, and it's we're doing an investigation, but it wasn't. It was you were a stranded soldier. Yeah. So they were trying something different. I will absolutely give them that. I think that ODST is when they realized we really can't do a lot with Halo. I think that was when Bungie realized we want to do something else because they tried, and it just didn't really do it.
I want Halo 3 on PC. Please.
I know.
Hey, Bill, I know you're eating some nachos watching this right now. Figure it out. Port it. Well,
please.
To segue with, you were talking about you had the big control, or the smaller control.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that was a perfect segue.
That's funny.
They are re-releasing the old, stupid, dumb, poo-poo, doo-doo, pee-pee Xbox original controller. And I didn't even know that was the name of it, but they called it the Duke, and I was like, that really is a great name for a stupid big controller.
This is a Nintendo move.
Yes.
Let's go through all the we're going to make your original Xbox games backward compatible on something that was released, 10 years later. Hardware, 15 years later. Yeah. And we're going to let you play whatever you want from the original Crimson Skies, you can play it on your Xbox One, and we're gonna remake the controller for you so it feels the same. But we're going to make the controller nobody liked.
Yeah. No one liked it.
This controller, the Duke, was retconned like under a year after the original Xbox came out.
It was literally ranked one of the worst controllers.
It really is. Have you ever actually played it?
I have.
It is ungodly. It's terrible design. It isn't even nostalgia.
We've talked about Mad Cats on here. I'm sorry. We've talked about nostalgia. No nostalgia for this. We've talked about Mad Cats on here. We had 3 types of controllers in my house. We had a controller S, a great controller, the Xbox controller. We had a Mad Catz controller, and then we had a Duke that we bought because it was all Game Crazy had at that time one day. I would grab the Mad Catz before I would touch the Duke.
Yeah, dude, it was like
it's bad design. I'll put it on the screen. It's just terrible design. It was so large. It was unwieldy, and I've heard people say, I like the Duke. I actually could use this thing. And maybe if you had giant hands, but man, it just was...
I tried to hold this candle to show you, like, the comparison, but this isn't even doing it justice.
It's like 4 candles. It is ungodly how big the controller is. I don't know what they were thinking.
I don't blame them, because Dreamcast kind of had some influence with the controller type. Somewhat,
because it was a little bit. Dream has a little heft to it, but it feels good. And it's actually designed
honestly, the Dreamcast and the controller S are definitely feel connected.
Oh yeah,
the Duke feels like you're holding, 3 mini Super Nintendos.
I think the issue was when they
it's bigger than the mini Super
It is
Nintendo.
bigger than the Super
When they made it, they added that black and white button to the bottom. And then, what else did they do?
I forgot about those little white.
They shrank it down. It was like a giant candle, like a circle, with 2 giant. Like,
here's the big issue: the memory card.
Yeah,
they stole the memory card things in the back.
Well, that was in the S too.
No, now see.
Did anybody ever use an Xbox memory card?
No, it wasn't
any
a
reason.
It had, what storage the thing had?
I still have 550,000 blocks.
Yeah, the hard drive is fine.
You're like, hey, how many gigs is a block?
I don't have any.
I don't know, but I had a ton of it, bro. Yeah. Like, I could flip this game.
I forgot about the white and black button and the memory card stuff.
But that's what I mean, like...
that
but on the S...
When you turn that original Xbox on and you're...
When they first made the first wireless controller for the original Xbox, they put the memory card slots on the receiver that plugged in.
God, the Xbox was so cool. When you turn it on and like the radioactive like green goo.
Yeah.
You just did a good job, didn't you?
And the music.
It was weird. I forgot that was back there.
Yeah.
Man, where did they lose their way?
Well,
it was when they got rid of... Here's what happened, man.
Xbox Slim. The Xbox 360
when the
Slim.
360, when they started going to all that Kinect stuff and they got rid of the Blade menu. I know there's...
Yeah, it got progressively worse.
They just like... They were firing on all cylinders, and I don't know what happened, man.
PlayStation got better right when they got worse.
Yes. They kind of switched spots again.
If you watch this podcast, you think we give Microsoft a hard time. Clearly, we love Microsoft.
Yeah.
I grew up with Microsoft. I had an Xbox first before I had PlayStation.
I was always an Xbox
We get crapped on a lot. Maybe deservedly so for being...
I mean, you do say a lot of stuff.
And they could turn it around. I always hope for them. But for now... These are just memories.
Yeah.
Like, I have no Halo thing to look forward to. Halo 6, Halo 5 did not interest me at all.
Yeah.
I watched the trailer, and there's like 4 like robot ninjas jumping and flying around.
It's not a thing.
And like there's like weird like Matrix sequences, things that just don't
it's just
at
not
all.
worth the time.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well,
it happens.
Well, we're
the sun went out.
I think what's
that was Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft, PlayStation, shining bright. Here's the thing.
Happy birthday, Halo 3.
Just like how Xbox 360 decided to get rid of the blades.
Something else happened. The Wii Shop.
This is upsetting to me.
The Wii or the Wii U Shop?
The Wii Shop. It's gone.
It's not gone yet.
Not yet.
2019. You've got time.
I know,
But you will not be able to re-download your existing purchases. You will not be able to buy anything new. Those games that were like WiiWare only are just like on that. piece of fuzz is back, and it's like, get that freaking
Get it
out
gone.
of here. It was like,
Get it gone.
Get it gone. It was like you created a unibrow.
I'm gonna be short and simple on the Wii. If you haven't homebrewed your Wii yet, why do you still have one?
I haven't done it yet.
Point exactly.
Everybody's got a Wii sitting in the bottom of one of their closets.
I have a Wii. I have a Wii sitting in my closet. Like, that's my point. Like,
my mom has a Wii in her closet. I said, "How did you get this?" She said, "I don't even know."
Everybody's got a Wii.
Came with the house.
It was very.
I'm sorry. They sold so many Wii.
They sold 120 million of them. They're everywhere.
Nintendo. How did
every
you
yard
blow
sale I go
this?
to, there's one.
You know what? I'm
People
trying to get angry about the Wii Shop. It happens. It's time. This is 2017. I'm shocked it's still up. To be completely honest with you,
The Wii came out.
You got 2 years notice. Download your crap.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, emulate it.
It's just crazy. Like, but some of those games, like the WiiWare games and stuff, that people like,
it sucks.
Those games didn't get ported. Like, they were only on that.
So they're gonna die.
So those games are just dead.
If you're in 2019,
that does suck. Yeah,
and you're still playing 480p games,
but it's it's about the preservation.
Yeah, if you bought those games digitally versus
don't worry. Don't worry. If you want to play those WiiWare games, just wait for the Wii Classic.
Yeah.
And then when you get it, you just need to beat the first level.
Yeah.
Of
to be able to get
Wii Sports.
Yeah,
to
Wii
get
Sports.
those back.
So I'm pretty sad about that, but
it's a nice thing.
I mean I don't play Wii anymore.
I like to believe my little Wiis are still marching around and stuff. Just like
that reminds me. You know what that reminds me of? I loved the Wii Shop for. Or maybe it was did the Wii do this all? But definitely 3DS did. When you would download something, it had that like Mario would run across the screen and hit that thing. Was that 3DS only, or was that Wii?
3DS did it.
Now that I don't know.
We did some cute stuff, and that's one thing. My only big complaint,
say,
software-wise,
with
the
time
Switch.
to sit with the Switch.
It's like, where's the fun, goofy things like that?
But it's fine. They're too serious now.
It feels good to play. So.
When you guys first got your Wiis, did you guys connect it to the internet right away?
Yes.
You did?
I think so.
See, I didn't connect mine until like 3 years later.
Really?
Because I didn't know, like...
I did, yeah, because it set up all these clocks.
But using the browser on that thing, because at that time I didn't have a computer in my room.
Yeah, me too.
So sitting back with the Wii remote
and just getting on the internet,
and that must have been awful.
It wasn't good for a teenage kid.
You're like, hey, Facebook. I'm gonna do my Facebook status, sitting here with.
Oh, it took forever type stuff.
But it was cool to like use that as the mouse and stuff to like you're pointing at your stuff. I thought that was awesome.
You know how much how funny it is to sit here and think we did this.
But we sat there for a long time.
But man, it worked.
Yeah, it was fun. And then also some people did created Flash games or something or whatever. It worked with the Wii browser. So there was custom games. You could go to WiiGames.com. I don't know what it was.
What?
But people made games that worked through the browser on the Wii. And you could use the controller.
That's
and it actually it linked up with the controller. It worked with the controller and all that stuff.
You know what the Wii...
That was awesome.
Man, the Wii just sold so well. And it was just such a great console.
And now it's
closing
internal software is dead.
2019.
But that's it for all that other junk.
What a month!
So, what have we played?
I mean, I was in the hospital for a week.
So you definitely played Binding of Isaac.
I did play Binding of Isaac. I played Splatoon 2. My little tidbit on Splatoon. It's starting to wear thin on me.
Okay.
I got the World 3.
I'm not regretting not buying this game.
Maybe it's because
the online doesn't work and the single player.
My online works. I can't help that he has a crappy Wii Switch. I mean, but I don't know why your Switch doesn't reach your router, dude.
It does not reach the router.
It's the radio waves, man.
It's the analog waves, baby.
But I was in the hospital and I couldn't connect to the internet well. It was a miracle I got Binding of Isaac downloaded, but it just got really repetitive.
Yeah,
and it was
because I beat it. And
it was fun. It was fun at first. I was like, oh, this is fun. And I'm now I'm just grinding. And you know how I don't like to grind. I I'm not.
Are you talking about the online?
No, I'm talking about the campaign.
Campaign.
Like online was kind of fun because it was just competitive because I kept losing, so I made me want to play it. But I don't know. It was neat. Nintendo did fine. It's not like a Nintendo fault. It's just like.
It's probably good that they released Splatoon and ARMS because I feel like both of those did half is what we thought it would as far as occupying us.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, why did they release them both? They should have just done ARMS this summer and Splatoon. Yeah. I think they knew. Yeah. I think they know these are games that are...
They're going
to be fun. People are going to be excited, but they're not like a Zelda or a Mario or a Xenoblade where this can occupy a whole season. Like you need to put them together.
Now that we're talking about, I'm just going to bounce off you just to get because I beat it this month and I spent quite a lot of time with it, and I found what you were talking about. I was starting to play and I was going, I've already played this. Like it started to get to a point where it's just like I'm not really having a lot of fun, but then it started to, halfway through, started to really build up of like, oh, I'm doing some fun stuff. I'm jumping on these pads and stuff. Mm-hmm. There's some cool stuff that they're implementing. Here was a problem I started to have. I started with the analog sticks. I played it without motion. And those, I found, for Breath of the Wild, I was fine. But with this game, with more precise, you have to aim and stuff. With those analog sticks, those are the most cheapy, crappy piece of like hardware. Like we already complained about the Switch's hardware, but I could not aim for the life of me. It got to the point where once you go along in the single player, you have to aim better because you're more, it's harder difficulty. I don't think that game is meant to be played with those.
They push motion controls pretty hard.
So yeah, I kept hearing people motion controls, and I was like, no way. But then I was having so much trouble, I was like, I'll try these motion controls out. And sure enough, I had to just get used to it, and it is a better way to play, is with the motion controls. You just have to bite down and just take the
Here's my thing.
And learn it.
I bought the Pro Controller.
And you had a hard time with the Pro Controller?
No, I'm not having a hard time. I'm great at shooters. That's not the issue. Yeah. The issue is I got bored. That was the issue.
So that's what I was saying. I was like, if I had the Pro Controller, because that's an actual more analog.
It's a good controller.
Yeah.
That you'll be able to play it more. And I was laughing. I found on Amazon, it was like, recommended for you. You can get like third-party controller, because I don't want to pay $8,000 for the Pro. And they had a third-party controller, but it said wired. And it had a cord, but I looked, I was like, I bet that thing doesn't have a battery in it, and you have to keep it constantly corded. Yep, I am still stuck on not wanting to pay $1,000 for this, or too cheap on that. But I did like the campaign as it went along. The ending stuff is really fun. I had fun with it, but again, with the online, the issues with the analog sticks having to use the motion, I finally learned it, but I give that game almost a you can play it. It's basically there.
It sucks.
But I did have, there was fun parts. There was parts I was having a lot of fun with. But
parts. Yeah.
I think Splatoon.
I was having a lot of parts with.
I just saw Splatoon for me would be on the high side because of the online gameplay.
Also, did you find yourself overwhelmed with the new additions? Because there's like all these food trucks in the lobby.
Yes.
And like in the old one, there was like 3 shops on either side, and it's like, here's your hats, here's that. And I'm going up, and this one guy's like, did you bring your ticket that you found from the one thing?
Yeah.
And then I was finding other I forgot what he asked for. Maybe that was the guy.
It was octopus.
Then there was like one thing that said, no, you're not allowed in here yet.
Yeah, you have to be a certain level to go in there. You have to play online.
On the other, which I can't do because of the routing thing.
That's the thing, like... I don't know.
I found myself being confused by this one a little bit.
I think Splatoon is neat. I think it's cute. You use the word cute. It's just because it just looks nice. But the things that's majorly lacking, I think, overall, is just a direction in terms of story. The linear stage to stage to stage to boss.
Yeah. I will say that they did a step in the right direction in this one with... One of them is a dual shooting like ink gun thing, and you can press a button and like you'll like roll.
Yeah, which is
really
cool.
fast, and that is fun. And I was like, I wish there was more rapid action like that because there's sometimes I feel like I'm They really want you to like travel by ink, I think, but I wish it was just a little bit more. And I don't know.
And another thing that pees me online is 4v4 turf war, nonstop.
Really? I wish I could get online to kind of review that.
But it is what it is. Splatoon 2.
Go to your next game.
So it's all good. I touched Overwatch again. Like I said, I tend to take like really on and off breaks with Overwatch because I don't want to get sick of the game. I'm not really back on it. I just kind of touched it for a little bit. It's still great. I still love it.
Did Doomfist get added?
Yeah, Doomfist got added. Doomfist got added and then nerfed. As soon as it got added.
I've never used him.
He was like, he got added and then for a week it was like
Doomfist.
Everyone's Doomfist. Everyone's punching you, one-shot kills. So then they're like, all right, I'm gonna play Overwatch till Doomfist gets nerfed, and then they nerfed him a week later.
I haven't used the new Mercy either.
Mercy's a whole new character now too.
They really
what
changed.
happened to Mercy?
Mercy's no longer the heal.
She still heals.
She switches.
Still heals.
I've seen people making memes making fun that she is like, you need to get healed. Well, screw you.
Yeah, it used to be her ult would be a res, so she could drop her ult and anybody that was dead on your team would res.
Yeah.
Now I understand she has one of her abilities is a res, but it's a single person res. Mm-hmm. So it cools down every 30 seconds, but it can res a dead teammate if you're next to where they were. Mm. Her ult now lets her fly and like do like an area of effect heal and shoot. Like I think she can so she's more attack focused now. Oh. Still a support character. I think honestly it's a good change because Mercy was always like you're healing and buffing, and if you have to get in a confrontation, you run away. And now you can be a little bit more balanced. Whereas like the other support characters,
Lucio
like Lucio was balanced. I can kill people as Lucio. I get a lot of kills as Lucio.
So Overwatch,
but it's weird because it goes back to this. Overwatch is one of these games where 5 years from now, the Overwatch we are playing today will not exist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But that's a good thing.
The Mercy that I loved playing year one, the new one is going to be cool, but it's gone. Like you can't go back and play Overwatch 1. Like you can't go back to update 1 and play it the way it was. Mm-hmm. So that brings up just a different angle of the preservation kind of a thing, which is there is no preservation with a game like Overwatch. And
maybe you'll get to the
it's
point
just interesting.
They release like customization.
I doubt it. These companies never do that.
I don't know. Again, I like that because it keeps the game fresh.
I think it's cool. I'm not complaining or saying that they shouldn't update the game. I'm just saying it's interesting.
2 more games. Madden 18. Still playing it. I'm getting
still football.
Yeah, still football. I'm gonna play Madden 18 until the next one comes out. I can say out of all the games I ever play, each Madden gets at least 150 plus hours of my life.
Yeah,
it's kind of sad.
It's a fun game. You get a lot of time in the franchise mode.
Dude, I love franchise mode. I love franchise mode. I love controlling the team. That's why it's building the best team you can build, and doing online franchises. It's fun. Number 2, Battlefield 1.
Mm.
Yeah,
how's that?
I love it. Like online, screw the story mode. The story mode blows, but online is thinking it's so chaotic. It's so having 100 people on a map at the same time is like. What game came on the PS3 that was like, we're going to have 160 something people? It's going to be the best shooter in the... What was it? Start with an M.
Mag.
And you know what?
And you can no longer play that game.
You can't touch it. Hey, my brother was like... My brother pre-ordered that game day one. He's like, that's going to be the best shooter ever. It sucked. It was so bad. But Battlefield 1 is like... It's just fun because Battlefield does such a great job with the overall war scale.
Yeah.
And just
the scale is so large.
It makes it so competitive because of how large it is. Mm. So, and the strategy. There's a lot of strategy that goes into it. Unlike Call of Duty, the Call of Duty culture, me and my friend Michael tried playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the remastered one.
Yeah.
And the new Call of Duties have ruined what I grew up with on Call of Duty. Because what I grew up with Call of Duty was... You spawned, you ran, you shot. You didn't. There was people who sat in corners. I don't care about that. But it was more open. Now everyone just sits there and sneaks around, and there's no more like
They heard about Kojima's like rope thing.
Yeah,
I guess so. I don't know.
They saw Dunkirk.
The new culture's like my sights are always up. I'm never running. I always throw grenades.
Corridor tactical.
Yeah, and I mean that's fine. Like that, as if they enjoy the game, but it just changed. It just goes to show like I cannot go back to Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
Like
so you really like the scale, particularly of Battlefield.
That's why I like Battlefield 1 because Battlefield 1 you can't sit there and just walk with your scope up.
Which, by the way, I know. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, you can't walk with your scope up the whole map because you got a whole map in front of you.
Which, by the way, I know we're talking about games we're playing right now. Have you seen the new trailer for the new Battlefront?
Yes.
They released a story and a multiplayer trailer.
And that's why...
They literally released a trailer that had graphs. It was a 5-minute trailer, and it was like, Battlefield 1, we had 4 planets. Now we have 15.
Yeah.
And then it was like, and they'll show some gameplay, and then it'll be like, Battlefield 1, we had, 6 maps. Now we have, 28 or
they
whatever.
Were really some
Battlefield 1 or Battlefront 1, we had, 3 vehicles. Now we have 22. Like, it was graph after graph of that, and it was like, man, they were really trying to lay it on thick.
Hey,
like, we learned.
We made a mistake.
It says Battlefield 1 or I keep saying it. Battlefront 1, no story. Battlefield 2, story mode. It's like
so.
I've never seen a trailer try so intentionally just answer every single complaint that they ever had, like with literal graphs in the trailer.
You know what's funny? I played a lot of games this month, even though I was like, I can't wait. I also beat South Park: Stick of Truth again.
Yeah. How is that? How does that compare to the first Fractured Butthole versus?
Fractured Butthole hasn't came out yet.
Well, I thought you played it.
No, I thought it came out. I was dead.
I thought it came out.
But we played Stick of Truth because I got it for free because I pre-ordered Fractured Butthole, and it's so funny saying that, man, because it's really Fractured Butthole, like WH.
Is Stick of Truth a play on words?
No, it's just a reference. It's a reference to the show.
Okay.
It just does such a great job, like walking you through all the seasons and what you experience in South Park, and it's literally a TV episode of South Park.
I was watching you play, and it really gave me the itch to go and play it.
Dude, it's funny.
I've heard it's really fun for people that have been a long-time fans because you'll you'll go into somebody's room and look in a drawer or something. It's like, oh yeah, or like it's something in the room like that calls back to that episode.
And
or
here's the thing,
whatever,
it's completely obscene, and it's like I don't recommend it to people like who've never like watched South Park, who've never like I grew up with South Park.
So my grandma.
Your grandma would not appreciate some of the things she sees.
I almost bought it for her.
Don't Twitch stream it to the kiddos.
Yeah, don't be twitching streaming to these 8-year-olds.
Don't be twitching streaming.
You rascals. But like I said, as a longtime fan, it does so much justice. I'm really curious now because of the new game where they're going to go with it because you can't really play off of nostalgia again, I don't think. More or less. So
there's a lot in that property that they can explore.
Well, they did the whole Lord of the Rings hey, RPG. Now they're doing the superhero RPG that they did. So I mean, it's going to work. I'm not worried about that. It's South Park. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like it's like Star Wars for me.
Yeah, I think there's a lot there. I'm excited to check out the one I own, Stick of Truth. So I'm excited to check that out. So that's cool.
I actually did a lot this month. I now that we just got done talking,
did not realize. You're pretty proud of yourself.
And you were playing Binding of Isaac.
And I was playing Binding of Isaac. Man, I should go to the hospital more often, guys.
Yeah, you should.
I got so much done.
So Splatoon 2, you already heard that. Sonic Mania I beat. And that game was freaking rad. And that is, you know what? Put in the comments, you ready to fight me? Best Sonic game. That honestly might be like over Sonic 3 for me now. That's always been my favorite. But this game just had such fun stuff. Mm-hmm. My biggest complaint is some of the old levels they just brought back.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm playing Green Hill Zone for the trillionth time.
You can't run away,
That was kind of weird. But some of the stuff, I haven't played Sonic CD in so long that I even forgot some of the levels were stuff from that. Mm-hmm. But that kind of felt new.
So now you could just play Sonic Mania.
Just play Sonic Mania. It really, I think that they were dipping their toes in the water, letting this fan, game creator help on this. I am hoping that they just make freaking Sonic the Hedgehog 5, announce it for 2018, and let this guy go nuts. Because
so who made this?
It was something Christian Whitehead is his name, and he's like a known person in the Sonic community. He made all these fan versions of Sonic,
and they let him do.
And they let him work with like the team and stuff with this team of people and make this game.
Wow, good for him.
And could you imagine being a fan of Sonic, growing up with Sonic, and then making your own Sonic game?
They're like, hey, take this and run with it.
Yeah, and he did, and like, man, the stuff you're doing, the levels, it's so fast paced. The music is like this mix of like almost vaporwave-esque kind of weird stuff, and it's so fun, and I love the soundtrack, and had an awesome time with it. There was times that were kind of very difficult, and it sucks when you die. There's 2 acts in like each little world level thing. If you die in that second act, you have to do that whole first act again, and then go through that second act. And it's just like, man, I thought we were over this. I thought we were over this.
Save states.
But I got through it. I did beat it. I didn't do all the freaking. You can get like extra like the Chaos Emeralds and all that stuff. Yeah. But that's how you get into like Supersonic, because that's when all the
flashbacks to Sonic Adventure when you said Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah, Chaos Emeralds.
Oh my god.
Getting bad flashbacks.
There's another Chaos Emerald.
Yeah. But so.
Grab it.
But I looked up.
Grab it, Sonic.
It was funny. It kind of reminded me of. Well, I won't spoil it. I will just say Breath of the Wild's Korok seeds. Yeah. Because collecting all those, there's probably something at the end of it. It is the most hilariously disappointing thing ever. Maybe I've ever seen in a game ever. And it kind of reminded me of this game. I did look up like, oh, there's an extra ending you can get with the Chaos Emerald things. And it's that same thing. It's such a little, stupidly minor thing. Yeah, just YouTube. But I YouTube it and laughed.
Just watch the cutscenes.
But Sonic Mania, definitely recommend. I give that a rad. Definitely check that out. That is so fun.
Cool.
Next on the list is Witcher 3.
Moved up in the world.
So, I got sick at the beginning of this month, and right when I was starting Witcher 3. And man, what a time! Because I was kind of worried about this game because it was so daunting, and intimidating. Because people would say, "This game never ends. I can't beat it. Like I cannot get to the end of this game." So hearing that, but then I got sick, and I sat, and within 3 or 4 days, I put 50 hours into that game. Unbelievable! That's all I did was play Witcher 3. That's all I did was Witcher 3 from when I woke up to go to bed. I was out of my mind sick. But playing this game, I just felt like it's one of those games I felt like a total moron for not playing sooner. Yeah. The series sooner. And I'm sick. I'm alone playing this game. And I started thinking about this game and really just thinking about it critically and just sitting there. I don't know if it was maybe the meds going to me, but I'm playing this game and I'm like, this is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. It just and another thing that I was like in awe of was, I always go back to a good example. There's other games that do this, but prior to, I would say, last gen games really became more refined, and they felt more overall arching of like roller coaster games is what I call them. You pull up a Call of Duty, that explodes. You get knocked back. There's rubble behind you. You can't go behind you anymore. You walk forward. It kind of felt like, on average, not all games or whatever. I feel like I'm saying not all men. But, you're going through almost like a roller coaster, like amusement park ride. Yeah. And that's been fun in certain games. And I felt like that exploration of games like Final Fantasy VII, where you can totally miss side characters you would never get, has gone away. It's harder to do that because, smaller teams, it would still cost a lot to make games in that generation, but you don't want to make freaking stuff. I could really feel for them. You don't want to make stuff and people never see it. Yeah. That's like a waste of like your time and development time. Like you want to make stuff that people can like experience. Yeah. To where a lot of this stuff where like, if you play this game and do all the side stuff, you can be playing for 80 hours. And it's like, take this bone to this dog other part of town and you'll get a thing, and then do that. And it's like, that's boring. Yeah. But
the side content.
Have side content, it's harder because games are so expensive to make. it's impossible to do that. But Witcher 3 somehow has brought back that feeling I had with Final Fantasy 7 and like all those other games of that generation where, wow, there's hidden little nooks and crannies here you can get into.
Yeah.
I went back to this like little area where I did this quest, and in the meantime, I found out like this lady was like, yeah, go back and see how she's doing or whatever. You like cleared it out, and something else happened, and I was like, I'm gonna go back there, and I found without even like a quest thing or nothing pointing me to it.
Yeah.
Like what's behind this wall, and I checked it out, and it's like her dead husband got like somebody built a wall, like drugged him, and then like put a wall there and locked him out and stuff. And it's like, wow, I never would have figured that out.
Yeah.
Nothing pointed me that you could totally miss that.
Yeah.
And it's there. There's so many nooks and crannies of just fun stuff. The side quests are actually really fun and funny at times and like engaging.
Interesting.
The world, the trees, when the wind blows are like blowing in the wind. Everything just feels just so good. It's one of the first games on Steam I took screenshots of because I was just so amazed. I have a freaking... I want to marry this game. It just is... To me, I give it a freaking classic.
Oh.
Yeah. It is an absolute classic.
Fantastic
It is
time.
one of the best games I've ever played, and you're missing out if you haven't played it.
I'm so glad you finally come around to The Witcher, man.
Yes, because I was on a total...
I felt like I was on an island last year when I played 1, 2, and started 3 because none of you guys played
care.
them. I was
like
sending screenshots like, guys, this game's really good.
Yeah, it's good, guys.
And Zach, you were just like, I played it. And I understand. But like, I was like, I mean, I know I'm not alone because people on the internet like these games, but I was like, I really like this.
Yeah.
And so
I need somebody to be here.
But this game just does stuff. The story stuff is at times HBO, Game of Thrones caliber of storytelling. I really feel engaged, like drawn with the characters. The choices are fun. Like, oh, should I do that?
How excited are you now for the Netflix show?
Oh, now for the Netflix show, I'm on for
day one.
If they could just do that kind of...
do it right.
So, love Geralt, loved all the characters, and so yeah, I'm at 60 hours, and I was telling him the other night, I was like, hey, I'm about to beat this game, and now I finally get it, of people saying, I can't beat the game, because I thought I was about to beat it, and I have not...
Can I ask you, which way are you leaning with the ladies?
Okay, so...
And you don't have to give a lot of details, because there's a lot I don't know, but... Because you're further in the game than me.
Yeah.
I've been playing this game for like a year and a half. But like, as far as the two main ladies...
With the two main ladies, I lean Triss.
Yeah.
Triss is my girl.
It's hard, but I understand.
Jennifer is a bit too...
Don't know if you can trust her.
Well, she's too into like, well, I'm going to do this.
She's into her own stuff.
Yeah.
She isn't like into you.
Well, yeah, and Triss
Which one would you rather, Shaq?
Triss. But I'm eating my cake and trying to have it too.
Yeah.
Oh! I've been down this road before!
That's why I stopped playing the game, because I was through a whole big quest with Triss, and I was like, okay, cool. And then the next thing was like, oh, I know what's going to happen now, because I've semi-committed to her. I've semi-committed to her. Yep. Me and her were not together.
Yeah.
No major spoilers. We were not together, and I took steps to kind of try to reconcile that, and I did not want to pick it up again because I know what's going to happen next. Yeah. They're going to throw me into something with the other girl, and I'm going to have to either stay true or not. And I don't even want to approach it.
My approach is I'm going to just try to love both of these women. I don't know how that's going to end up for me, but probably in tears.
What's weird is I've found that people that read the books always go for Yennefer. And then
because they're more connected with
that. But you're with Triss more in the games.
Exactly.
So
that's how I felt. It's like I went through all this game. Like
people who read the books say if you've read the books, you wouldn't even think about it. You would go after Yennefer because of all of whatever they've been through. So,
but I'm riding both the lines. I'll let you know how that goes.
I have some advice.
Here's the thing: Triss is the girl you marry. Yennefer's the girl you don't marry.
But you take her to the club.
But you take her out for a nice time.
If you're not careful...
It's tricky, guys.
Alright. If you're not careful, you will end up with a Krogan. That's my advice to you, okay?
That's what happened to me. Well, I wish that what happened to me in Mass Effect.
Now, what's the Krogan equivalent of a cave troll in The Witcher?
Yeah.
You wind up with Zoltan.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So that's
You'll
it
wind
for
up
me.
with Dandelion.
I didn't play any of those 3 games I mentioned at first. That'll be next month. But dang, I cannot keep up with all the video games.
Well,
Too many.
right on. All right.
What's up with you?
Somehow, some way this month, out of nowhere, I just took a random turn. So I've been playing like Sid Meier's Civilization. I've been playing like Puyo Puyo. I've been playing, just all these random different games. And somehow, some way this month, I took a random turn into first-person shooterville. I love first-person shooters, like single-player first-person shooters. I love them. I have a ton of fun with them. I have not played many, really, in the past 2 years. Like, I played the Half-Life games and stuff, but this month, that's pretty much all I played. And I spent a ton of time with one, and then I spent a little bit of time with 2 others. So what happened was, we've been talking about trying to play Bloodborne in the near future. So I went ahead and bought PlayStation Plus because I want to be able to see all the notes. I have not played Bloodborne this month. But in buying PlayStation Plus, I was looking at my shelf. I was like, well, what do I have I could try this out? Because I bought PlayStation Plus. I want to play something online. I'm looking like Metal Gear Solid. I think that online is dead. Uncharted, I don't really care to play that online. And I'm looking across, and then I see Destiny. Destiny 1.
Destiny.
The game that we always talk about here on this podcast. So I said, here's what I'm going to do.
The ultimate sin.
This game is free. Someone gave it to me for free. I had a free copy. I said, I'm going to put this in. I'm just going to try it out. I had like some podcasts I wanted to listen to because I know the story. And I also was kind of curious because I know the story is not good. But I was just curious what it really was. So I started playing Destiny, and I don't know what happened. I like max level the character and max level the subclass and put in probably 40 to 50 hours in Destiny after 2 came out. Yeah. So I have played a ton of Destiny this month. I went basically 0 to 100 with the game. I played through the story. Then after I played through the story, I had like my character halfway to max level, and I was like, well, that story sucked. But I started playing some of the online, like PvP, and I was like, that's kind of fun. So I was like, how much is the Taken King? Because I know the Taken King people say is really good, so I was like, I'll look into that. It was $20 for the Taken King and the first 2 expansions, so I was like, I've paid no money for this game. I could put in $20 and see what that is. So I did that, played through the expansions.
Wait, how'd you get Destiny for free?
Our friend Alex gave it to me.
Okay.
So I played through the expansions, which were also nothing to write home about, and then I played through the Taken King, and at that point, I was all close to max level. I played some PvP, and I met a guy online. I tried to meet some people to try to do some strikes and stuff. So I feel like I've gone from not really having an experience to Destiny or having very limited experience to having a pretty good chunk of experience. So now I feel like I've more fully fleshed out what I do and don't like about the game. The story sucks. Even the Taken King, which had better environments and a little bit more going on, it also didn't have a good story. I don't know where the notion is that the Taken King came in and like
fixed everything.
Yeah, it sounded like that was the.
It's because the bar was so low.
I mean,
if you just had dialogue, it goes up like 5 spots.
It had kind of it had a bad guy. And it had a thing, but I don't know anything about the bad guy. The way they worked the bad guy for the Taken King in was, and no spoilers because you can't really even play this anymore. But here's the main thing: is Destiny is you do all these kind of repetitive things, and they build you up to do these things called raids. And in the first one, there's only 3 of them. And what they did was they took the person you kill, the main boss of the second raid. And the Taken King was that boss's father. So basically, the story is all predicated on you having beaten this raid, and then he's coming to take revenge on you. But that's the story, is he's there to kill you because you killed his son.
Yeah.
In a raid.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just story-wise, it's nothing. Gameplay-wise, though, I have had a blast with it. I've had so much fun playing the PvP. Yep. Even playing like these story missions and the strikes and stuff, I love playing that game. I love the feel of it. I play as a hunter. It's super fast. I've got like a golden gun that one-shots things, and I've had a ton of fun with it. I'm probably done because I'm not trying to like raise my light level to the max level. There's not a lot of people still playing that game.
That's when I quit. Well, all that stuff was going on that we talked about, but when I had to get like light stuff to keep leveling up, why can't I just level up by fighting?
Yeah.
What happened there?
Well, what they've changed, they did change that. You can just fight things. Your light level now, I don't know what it used to be because they changed it. Your light level is the average attack and defense of all your armor and weapons. So as you do missions,
you had to keep killing.
So like my light level is like 258, I think, and the max is 400. So the average attack and defense of all of my clothes and my armor and my weapons is 258. So what you do is you play some PvP missions, or you play some strikes, and you'll get a shotgun that's 260. And then you'll get a helmet that's 270.
Yeah.
And then you'll get a sidearm that's 245. And over time, your light level kind of inches up.
As you grind.
But here's the thing. What I have learned, the most fun I had really with Destiny was when I was playing PvP, but also when I found a guy online. I never do that. I don't ever find people and play with them. I found this dude on NeoGAF. We made each other friends on PlayStation. And I spent 5 hours one afternoon playing missions with this guy, taking King missions, and then we did some strikes. We just talked about video games. We talked about Destiny. He had never played it before, and it was cool. And what I like about Destiny, and what I think, whether it was intentional or unintentional, I like that the community in those games, if you look at Overwatch and like League of Legends and Call of Duty, almost every online community is super toxic. What I like about Destiny's community is they're really not toxic. Like, they seem like pretty helpful people. They're not really super argumentative. I think that's because the game is focused on co-op, oddly enough, even though it's not 4-player. It's very focused on, let's all come together and beat this raid. Let's all come together and do this strike. So I think that's one thing.
And be toxic to the people you need to beat the big boss.
I think that's one thing that
nice.
I really appreciate about that game is it has a really positive community. I think the gameplay is fun, but it's definitely it's a mindless game. Like, it's a game you put on. I listen to some music or listen to some podcasts. I got in a rut where like I was coming home from work and just turning it on and just playing through stuff. But once I reach the end of new things to play, I still have a couple things I can do. But once you get to the end of the road, then it's all about grinding for the higher level gear. I like getting the newer gear when I'm still doing new things. I'm not going to do old things. So for me to pay $20 and play all the content I did and some with people online and PvP, that was cool. If I paid $60 and then $20 for Expansion 1 and $20 for Expansion 2 and $40 for Taken King and $40 for Rise of Iron and had to grind all that time, it wouldn't have been for me. So that's kind of, all that being said, I'm glad that I finally kind of played it. I know what it's about. I don't hate it. I don't think it's particularly for me, but, I had a fun time with it. I've also been playing Doom 2016 and Halo 1 on the Master Chief Collection. So Doom 2016, I really like that game. That game has an awesome campaign. I'm maybe a third of the way through it. Super hard. I had to bump the difficulty down. Yeah. Everybody, what is this thing now? Everybody decides that they're going to decide a difficulty level that is what you really should play it at to really get the experience. And people say with Halo, you should really play it on Heroic, and they should say you should really play it on Nightmare for Doom. And Uncharted. If you haven't played it on Crushing, you haven't played it. Listen, shut up. Because I tried playing Doom on Nightmare, and I wanted to pull my hair out. I could not get out of the first room.
It's very hard.
I am currently playing Halo 1 on Heroic. It is freaking hard. I'm having fun with it, but it's freaking hard, and I am running out of ammo, and probably that's why people like it, is because you have to use everything at your disposal. Halo's not as bad, but I couldn't do Doom. I just couldn't do it. If I would be swarmed and I would get killed instantly by things. Yeah. So I'm enjoying Doom. I'm really just playing Halo because after playing Destiny, I was like, okay, Bungie obviously is not good at telling stories at this point. I remember Halo having competent stories. I remember them feeling really big and interesting, but I also remember them not really making sense. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to go back and play the older Halo campaigns and be like, what was going on storytelling wise,
Yeah.
because I still don't really know what was happening in those games.
The Covenant.
Yeah.
The Flood.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, just a little bit more executed properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I've played,
Cool.
and I've been playing shooters. So
Cool.
shoot 'em up.
What was I supposed to reveal at the end of the podcast?
Oh, what in the world have you been so busy with? You say you have no time.
Witcher 3.
Huh?
That was what he was Witcher 3.
Oh, Witcher 3.
Yeah.
Was that it?
Yeah. You were going to reveal what you were so busy with.
That wasn't it.
Oh.
Oh.
That was only 60 hours.
I mean, that's a lot of
That
time.
was
Yeah,
only
that was
60
only
hours
60
in 3
hours.
days.
What have you been so busy with?
So when I wasn't playing Witcher 3, I was playing the new hit single from Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead, sing it.
I'm not going to sing it.
Oh,
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
wow.
Yep.
I'm impressed.
Look what you made me do! Look what you made me do!